んたの舌を満足させる品を出せたらな。勝負だ。
Welcome, my fellow weebs and otakus. This is Anime Trends, and you better start holding on to those plates of yours if you want to get a good taste of our topic today, which is the most freaking awesome cooking anime you'll ever come across, and that is Shokugeki no Soma, or Food Wars. Now, none of you would be able to argue with us, since all of us fully know how great Food Wars is. In terms of a lot of things, we cannot mention endearingly because it's Food Wars. It's basically hentai in disguise. Now, the Food Wars that we all know and love has seemingly reached its peak status and has ended its final episode. Some of you may even feel burdened by the ending of our favorite anime, but you're all probably here for the title. And we'll be getting straight to the point on the things we know so far about any possible clue for the season 6 of Shokugeki no Soma. So take your seats because one bowl of the topic is coming right up. First off, Food Wars season 6 has not been renewed. Food Wars has put on a lot of plates on the table, and it's already at its 5th season. However, with each new season announced by JC staff, the time interval is far too long. JC staff has been an animation studio that brought in a ton of anime in hopes of success. They're basically Professor Utonium and Powerpuff Girls, the one who put sugar, spice, and everything nice that gave birth to the Powerpuff Girls. Yes, think of them like that. JC staff is known for the spectacular animes they've made, such as Maid Sama series, a certain Magical Index series, Shakugan no Shana series, Data Live series, and, well, a lot to be honest with you. However, each of those animes either had consecutive seasons like Food Wars or only one season. Well, JC staff had always been straightforward with their announcements. It'll be whether they'll announce a new season right away or they would postpone it with a reminder. And in worst cases, they won't even mention it, which is the current case of Food Wars since it's been done now for about a year and no longer has any material left to be animated. It'll be hard to say if it'll still continue. Second, Shokugeki no Soma's manga has ended. Food Wars started in the hands of Yuto Tsukuda as the writer and Shun Saiki as artists way back in 2012. It was serialized and brought to fame by Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump, and while on the rise of fame, JC staff proposed to animate the manga, and with enough material, they were able to create it in 2015. 5 years passed. It reached a total of 86 episodes with 5 OVAs in a total of 5 seasons, and a lot of you don't want to accept the fact that Food Wars has ended. However, Food Wars fans that had read the manga of the anime would fully know the current situation that Food Wars is in, and that Food Wars has truly entered and finalized its last chapter in 2019, which is the chapter that the 5th plate of Food Wars was set upon to end. With that, the studio has no more materials left to animate, thus lowering the chances of a 6th plate of Food Wars being served, because you can't serve a dish without any ingredients. Third, Shokugeki no Soma, the 5th plate, was rushed. A ton of anime fans are confused as to why Food Wars went from 0 to 100. Some are arguing that may have had to cut the budget for it, while some argued that they had some change of plans for the anime that goes different from the manga. But the truth is, Food Wars experienced something entirely different from what happened to Tokyo Ghoul. Here's why. People have been long arguing whether Food Wars started degrading within the 3rd and 4th season until it reached the peak of ridiculousness in the 5th season. But we still loved it though, especially the classic foodgasms. Now, as the 1st and 2nd season stands as one of the best parts of the anime and contained the best arc, which is the central arc where Soma beat up everybody. However, Yuto Tsukuda, the creator of the series, mentioned that as the series was supposed to conclude at the 3rd season of the anime and chapter 315.3 of the manga, he had to extend it further for Erina and Soma, which in turn gives us the Super Past Phase Noir arc, which gives us the 4th and 5th season with only 12 episodes each. And because of this, the growth of the characters was stunted. The story grew from interesting to redundant. It became ridiculous until the powerhouse comedy of the anime started to dwindle away with it. The reason behind this is that Yuto Tsukuda and Shun Saiki, along with the director of the anime, agreed to end it as soon as possible, thus the 5th plate. Lastly, the story would no longer progress for season 6. If there's anything we could say about Food Wars that isn't positive, then it would be that Food Wars is no Clannad. It doesn't have any more room to grow, which means that it has had its last dish to serve. Even after passing the noir arc, where our characters, especially Soma, have won the Shokugeki against the evil chefs, and Erina and Soma finally getting together, then there would be no more room for any improvement that can be made for the story. Additionally, the story of Food Wars had been linear. It only had one place to go, and that's for Soma to truly achieve his dream of surpassing his father, which he technically did after beating Asahi, who had beaten his father. Food Wars also doesn't have a flexible storyline. If Yuta Tsukuda ever tried to revive it, then he'll have to find an extremely high-risk, high-reward story for it. Though there is still a lot of cuisines and delicacies that they can use, but how can they use it if they have no story and is unable to create one? Well, Food Wars can't be like Maid-sama or Sakuraso no Pet no Kanojo, where we can still continue their stories without destroying it. But Food Wars would be Food Wars. It should still remain with the past foodgasms it has garnered and continued to delight us with the cuisines it has provided, though it took a terrible turn in its last moments it still gave us. So, there's really nothing left for us to do in Food Wars if there are no more Food Wars, right? We could only expect a few more OVAs to accompany the loneliness implied by Food Wars after its ending, since the manga still has some special chapters, but many do still hope that the sixth plate would be served, but it'll certainly not be happening anytime soon. Now that should be everything that we know about Season 6 of Food Wars. Okay, that's it for everything we know about the sixth plate of Shokugeki no Soma. We hope you liked this video, and if you've got something to say, then we would happily receive them in the comment section below. And if you like this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, since it helps us continue on making these lists. And if you want to see more, then click the notification bell to not miss out on these entries. Now, thanks again for watching the video, and we hope you enjoyed our dish today.